I hate escrow accounts. Let's talk about it.
If I knew what I knew now and I could go back in time to when I first bought my house, I would do everything I could to not have an escrow account. Okay, that is the biggest pain in my ass every year. If you don't know, an escrow account is kind of like, the only way I can describe it is like a bank account that's connected to your mortgage. So when I pay my mortgage every month, I'm paying the interest and the principal on my home, as well as the estimated taxes and my homeowner's insurance. And then every year, just to protect the mortgage company, they take that money I've paid them all year long, and then they pay my insurance premium and my taxes on my behalf. However, after the first year being in my house, I learned you got to double check this stuff, okay? Because every year, out of the 9 years I have owned this home, I have to call and make sure my homeowner's insurance, like premium for the year, has been paid, okay? I just got a letter in the mail saying, like, oh, your policy is going to renew March 1st. We ain't got your money yet. Even though my homeowner's, or my mortgage, my escrow account says it was paid on February 10th. They're like, yeah, girl, we ain't got your money. You need to call them and figure that out. Whereas if I just had my own bank account and I set this money aside every month, like a sinking fund, I know it's paid. I know it's there. Instead of spending an hour on the phone trying to figure out where my money is. And honestly, until pretty recently, I thought you had to have an escrow account with your mortgage. I thought that's how it worked. Found out recently that's not the case. If you put enough down on your home, or depending on the type of loan you can take, you don't have to have an escrow account. You are just responsible for that on your own, which, as somebody who likes to have as much control as possible and likes to make sure their homeowner's insurance doesn't lapse, that would have been a much better option.
Yeah, I hate escrow accounts. I really do. I do hate the fact of having an escrow account because it's very misleading to a lot of people. A lot of people say, I got a mortgage, they're extremely happy. They get the mortgage, they see how much they're going to pay, and yes, they're happy about it. Right? Of course you have to pay property taxes. Of course you have to pay, you know what I'm saying, your homeowner's insurance. But in your mind, you're not really thinking about it that much at that moment until you get hit with that escrow account. You're like, okay, my payment is what? Now it's part of my payment? Everyone is usually shocked when it comes to an escrow account. Usually they are. That's like a reality check for so many people, how expensive property taxes are and how expensive homeowners insurance is. Right? And she does say a few things in the video, which is true. You do have that option. You do have that option to not get an escrow account. But if you have an FHA loan or VA loan, that is not an option. You need to have an escrow account. And to be very honest with you, I agree with it. Right? I agree with the fact of having an escrow account because it's been proven time and time again that people are not really responsible with creating a sinking fund. Right? This is one way to ensure you are paying for it. And it's like automatic savings going into the account, that way they could pay for it. Hands down, that's the best approach for people to do. Now, I understand some people want to have control, but man, you mess around, you don't pay your property taxes, or something happens with your insurance, and then you gotta find new insurance. If something happens, you just don't pay, you could lose your home. And a bank is not willing to take that risk. They are not willing to have a lien on the mortgage simply because of the fact of you weren't responsible. So yeah, that's what an escrow account is for. Do you love it? No, I hate it because it's always going up, and sometimes it's actually going down, believe it or not. Sometimes my insurance goes down, and I love that, but it's the fact of it's hard to really know what is going to happen with your mortgage payment. It's going up, it's going down, it's going all sorts of directions. Now, also, I want to say this. She is right. There is a way to not have an escrow account, and usually that's with conventional loans. If you put down a hefty down payment, at least 20% or more, then they will consider waiving it. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily they're going to waive it because it's a risk that the banks are taking. Okay, they're saying, we're giving you this loan. We want to make sure it's a clean loan. We have no issues with this mortgage. We want to make sure that you're actually making this payment. Some of them will offer it and say, hey, check this out. We can do it. You get your own escrow account, and that's fine. But guess what? That nice interest rate that we're offering you is not for that. You need to have an escrow account in order to get this wonderful rate that we're giving you. If not, the rate goes up. You see, so she's right. You could be a point where you could remove it, but you need to come down with 20%, which nowadays, people are struggling to even come down with 3% for a house. So even the fact of coming up with 20% is going to be tough. For most people, once they get to 3%, they're like, listen, I'm done. I am not saving anymore because this house is already expensive, and I'm not trying to empty out my savings account and blow everything on this house. For some people, that's the most difficult feat, to come down with 20%. So they're just not going to have that option to not have an escrow account. And even if that is the case, they still might not waive it, right? You're still gonna get the highest rate just because you want to make the payment yourself. I don't know about you, but to have my interest rate decrease and they have an escrow account, I would take that approach, right? I would certainly sign up for that every single day. Take advantage of having the lowest mortgage rate rather than worrying about the escrow account. And her saying she has a call, and I don't do all that. I noticed that as well. That sometimes I will say, it's renewing and whatever, but my mortgage company, they always figure it out. They always figure it out. If something happens, I just give them a call, whatever. But I've had my home for 3 years, and I know so many people who had a home as well. No one really complains that much about an escrow account. I just hate the fact that it goes up and down, and you really never know how much money you're spending in your mortgage due to the fact that it's always going up and down. But honestly, when it's going up, it's kind of a good thing. It means the property of your home is going up. But it also could mean the price of your homeowner's insurance. I live in Florida, where hurricanes is getting insane right now, and the population is increasing, which means my auto insurance is increasing. Everything is getting really expensive here in Florida, y'all. With insurance, just the way it is. Well, anyway, guys, let me know how you feel about the escrow account. Have you had any issues with your escrow account? Has everything worked out perfectly fine and you have no problem and you just like, they take it, they pay it, and I'm good? Or do you feel like how she feels? You'd rather have that option yourself, even with a higher rate, to pay your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes on your own. Drop a comment down below, guys, and let me know exactly how you feel. Catch you guys on my next video. Peace.